Good afternoon and welcome to today's episode of Law is Stranger Than Fiction. I'm one of your co-hosts, Barry Shoal.
I'm your other co-host, Steven Bergman. We are shareholders in the Salt Lake City law firm of Richards, Brandt, Miller, Nelson. And today's episode of Law is Stranger Than Fiction involves a situation where Big Brother is always watching, even if it turns out you're Big Brother. Barry?
That's right, Steven. Today's story involves a former Utah policeman who was charged with theft by extortion after threatening to reveal incriminating photos of his ex-wife to discourage her from pursuing his pension as part of a divorce proceeding.
Now, I'm assuming this had something to do with him being caught on camera making these threats.
Yes, on his own police camera.
Was it like his dashboard camera that you see, or is it
It was
a
on his body camera.
Okay, it was a body cam. And how did this? What was he doing that the body cam caught him confessing to extorting his soon-to-be ex-wife?
Well, he was responding to a domestic violence complaint and talking to the suspect, sort of on-the-job therapy, as it were.
And stop for a second. He was talking to the suspect.
Yes.
So let's see if I get this straight. So, on-the-job police officer is called to a domestic violence scene. Presumably, he separates the two parties, and he's talking to the suspect, the person who he might be arresting for committing domestic violence.
That about sums it up.
And he starts confessing to him about his own actions towards his ex-wife.
That's right. He confessed to this domestic violence suspect that it sucks you got to play dirty games like that, but that he had incriminating photos of his ex-wife that she didn't want revealed, and that he had used those photos, or the threat of revealing those photos, to discourage her from pursuing his pension.
Did he later try to explain himself to his superiors by saying, I was trying to establish rapport with the suspect so he'd admit what he was doing?
No.
Okay. And so what happened to this police officer?
Well, he was charged with theft by extortion and later resigned from the police force.
I'm assuming he didn't turn his own camera in and say, hey, look what I said on camera. How did this get discovered?
I believe it was just part of a standard review of footage from body cams, and it was discovered there and then reported by one of his peers.
And did he give any explanation for why he was making a confession of a crime knowing he was recording himself?
None at all.
Okay.
So the officer had texted his soon-to-be ex-wife a copy of the photo and threatened to reveal and share the photo. She said she was embarrassed and didn't want family members to be exposed to the photo. And investigators interviewed her. She admitted the circumstances. And subsequently, investigators went through his ex-wife's phone and through text messages and confirmed several dates when the photo was used to threaten his ex-wife.
So not only did this guy record himself confessing to committing a crime, he sent incriminating evidence by text message to the target and created his own evidentiary trail.
His ex-wife, the target, yes.
Some quality police work right there. Anyway, how much was this over?
$5,000.
Okay, so he essentially risked his career trying to prevent his splitting $5,000 with his ex-wife.
That's correct.
Okay. This is an example of probably a divorce getting a little too down and dirty. If you are going through a divorce or you need help in a family law situation, please contact the attorneys at Richards, Brandt, Miller, Nelson. We have a number of family law attorneys who can assist you. And for now, this is Law is Stranger Than Fiction.